This session's title, as you're all probably aware, is the role of WOP platforms in scaling up and institutionalizing WOPs. Pretty heavy going, I think, but we shall try and deconstruct this as we go along and see what we understand in terms of scaling up of WOPs and making them an institution of significant capacity development. So this session for 90 minutes, we'll start with the presentation of four WOPs, which we believe universally are examples of best practice. And the objective, as you will have seen, I don't have to repeat all this, is to understand how these were done, what kinds of results were attained, and how those results might be factored into an upscaling of the WOP program and the institutionalization of WOPs as a major capacity development tool. So I think we have a few casualties in terms of participants. I'm told that Ignatius Jean, who's Executive Director of CariWOP, who had been confirmed, will not be available. So that will leave just the three, Valeria Suarez from WOP LAC, Simeon Kenfak from Afwasa, and Pa Bekti from Indonesia, so from Perpamsi. So let's get started. If we are ready to get on with the case study presentations. Waterlinks team, are we ready? All right, let's start with the first study first presentation on Inda Water Consortium, Malaysia, and Perumdapal di Banjarmasin in Indonesia. Azwan Ahmad Zadi, who's the Chief Corporate Officer of IWK, is here. Smart young man who will, I'm sure, put us through our paces. He's got 4 minutes. He begged me for an additional minute. I gave it to him. So 5 minutes for you.
Thank you, Arjun. Very good afternoon, overall, everyone. Let me just quickly start with my presentation once it's being projected. But our WOPs is actually one of the South WOPs, and it's also SWOPs, sanitation WOPs, that was completed in the first phase of the EU WOP program. And we were very happy today to share some of the success stories and some of the lessons that we've learned over the last 3 years of completion. So as mentioned by Arjun, that this is a partnership between three parties, particularly, next slide please. The first one being Indah Water Consortium, the company that I'm coming from. We have 31 years of experience of managing sanitation, both connected as well as on-site sanitation in Malaysia. And our mentee is Perumdapal Banjarmasin. For context, Banjarmasin is a city that is located in South Kalimantan. Very beautiful city of 1,000 rivers because of the nature of it being surrounded by a network of rivers. So it has about 95% of its sanitation being on-site sanitation. So there's a lot of similarities on some of the experience that we have as a mentor. And to complete this partnership, we have a facilitating partner in the likes of Waterlinks. 15 years of experience, a lot of over than 80 projects in terms of capacity building in the Asia-Pacific region. So these are the three parties that were involved for the last 3 years. Next slide, please. And this is the three focus areas that we were focusing on throughout the project period. The first one being the core project area, the sanitation improvement. We spend most of our time looking into institutionalize a lot of things that need and should be there. The very basics of sanitation services. We relook into how they do things, how they approach all the septic tanks, dislodging processes and all those. So a lot of these, we realize that if we are to only do it once with them, it will not be institutionalized. So one lesson learned from this particular area is that we integrate all the learnings over the 3 years into a new revised SOPs, standard operating procedures, something that they don't have when they first started before the project partnership. Similarly, we also look into the human resource capability. We know that the staff receive not much exposure in terms of training, capacity building, development. So we came out with every single staff in the utility to have their competency level to be evaluated and to have for every position the kind of competencies that they require for them to operate in the most efficient manner. So a level of a point in terms of efficiency there through the right competencies. And the third and the equally important areas that we look on is actually on stakeholder management. Why? Because to change the utility is not enough to just work with the utility. So we had to approach the local governments, had rounds and rounds of engagements, came up with stakeholder management strategy, and together with them implement these strategies over the last 3 years. And we had a very good improvement in terms of the understanding on the importance of sanitation among the stakeholders, particularly the local government and the key stakeholders. Next slide, please. And sorry, next slide. Yeah, and these are just snapshots of the achievements. I would not be going one by one in terms of the achievements, but we can see measurable impacts. But most importantly, the kind of satisfaction that we have as a mentor is when the mentee themselves keep approaching us, wanting to do more, wanting to know and appreciating what we have done together as a team. Because at the end of the day, we are not believing that we are just the mentor to teach them, but at the end of the day, it's just them also giving us kind of learnings along the way as well, right? So these are some of the snapshots of the achievements in terms of reduce dislodging downtime by 30%. We have JDs being developed for the first time, 85% of understanding of sanitation, importance of sanitation among the stakeholders, and various other important key metrics that we have measured throughout the 3 years. Next. But what makes it successful? One of the key success factors was, of course, having water links in the picture, because water links help us to understand the importance of periodical engagement. So not only that engagement happens when we were there in Banjarmasin or when they were in Malaysia, but along the way, there were a lot of online engagements. There were a lot of sharings that happens via email, via Zoom meetings, and so on. In terms of knowledge exchange, a lot of facilitation were carried out by Waterlinks, progress monitoring to make sure that we are always on track. Because over the project period being 3 years, there were times that we were busy with other things, they are busy with other things, but Waterlinks is always there to make sure that the resources being allocated so that we continue to deliver as what is expected. And last but not least, in terms of support resources, knowledge sharing, they have done this so many times, 80 odd projects besides these particular projects. So they know that what we are lacking at. So there are a lot of times that Mai and Arjun and the team will tell us, okay, guys, you guys have to improve on certain areas. And we as mentor is learning as well. And that to us is a very important part in terms of institutionalizing the partnership. So I guess I covered that in 4 minutes, Arjun.
5 minutes, actually.
5 minutes.
Well done.
Thank you.
Well done. Thank you.
Right.
Thanks very much, Azwan. Thanks also for the big round of applause for Waterlinks. Well, that was very interesting. I liked the bit about the mentee staying in touch with the mentor, and this is at the heart of the WOPs business, I guess, in a sense, because you really need long-term partnerships. Development is a long-term game. Capacity development particularly doesn't happen overnight. So if you can have the mentor be with you over a longer term than the usual 2 to 3 year WOP, then that's a huge plus. And I think that's one of the key advantages of the kind of WOPs that we have all designed and engineered, because staying the long course is a win. All right, next presentation by Federico Perotti, who's standing in for Armando Quarzo, who left this morning in a great hurry. But we have the presentation on the WOP between SMAT of Torino, Italy, and the Odisha Water Supply and Sewerage Board in India. And this will be handled by Federico, 4 minutes, and Mr. Prasanta Mohapatra, former engineer-in-chief of the Odisha Water Supply and Sanitation Board, for another 4 minutes, 8 minutes. I might give you a minute if you really ask for it. All right, all set.
Thank you. Thank you. Good afternoon to everybody. I am replacing Mr. Quazzo that has left. for SMAT, the water utility of Turin, and I am part of the partnership because I am belonging to Hydroid. That is an association that is sensed working about capacity building, learning about water issues, and the members of this association are the institutions that in the territory of Turin and metropolitan area deal with water service. So there is the SMAT, that is the water utility that is member of Hydrate, and the city council, the regional government, the universities, and the regulating authorities. So all the subjects are part of Hydrate. But here I represent Mr. Quazzo and showing you the origin and results of and roles in this partnership with the colleagues and friends of Odisha Water Supply and Sewerage Board, OWSSB. So next slides. The SMAT company is three main features: public utility for water service, integrated water services, so full water cycle in the metropolitan area of Turin, northwest of Italy, so water supply, sanitation, and treatment. Public utility serving the municipality of Turin and other nearly 300 municipalities of, in total, 2.2 million people. In the WOP constitution, we have shared with OWSSB some similar challenges about sanitation, similar challenges that give the birth to the exchange process, because the partnership is an exchange process. So shared context in some way. And in particular, SMAT has a long experience with low-cost technologies and training about this, putting together the expertise of SMAT as a utility and also Hydroid and Polytechnic of Turin as technical and training partners. In the next slides, please. What in the cooperation, in the roles of the WOP framework, in this WOP framework, we have a mutual collaboration of 5 entities: the mentor, SMAT, the mentee, Mr. Mohapatra is here representing OWSSB, and 3 supporting partners. So I was saying Hydrate as a capacity building and supporting the coordination of the project, Waterlinks, and we shall see particularly the roles that has had Waterlinks about the facilitating of the partnership, and Polytechnic of Turin as a university. So the partnership based on knowledge sharing, capacity building, and inclusion. Next. Also, as the Indonesian colleagues, as the Malaysian colleagues, I see here some of the results of our WOP in terms of transfer and exchange of low-impact technologies, standard procedures for laboratory, practices of recirculation, etc. The colleague, Mr. Mohapatra, will speak about this. The training of personnel in distance learning and in presence about different issues, also on drainage issues and QGIS wastewater treatment. The particular training that was done for self-help groups and transgender groups in the Yatni plant management location, the visits, of course, the research report by Polytechnic of Turin about specific material for wastewater treatment, and also participating in the GWOPA context with the different webinars about the issues that were dealt with during the partnership. Please, next. Which are the challenges, main challenges of this partnership? We have found similar challenges, but we have invested time to know each other. It was also the COVID period, so we started distance and then first visit after 1 year and so on. We based on the local staff, skilled and competent about this. The training and the meetings online achieved the shared understanding and then mutual commitment and strong collaboration. For the future, of course, we think about next phase, perhaps, and the activities will follow, in any case, the knowledge project at the beginning for scaling up and for being essential for the knowledge that started with the WOP can continue. Next, this is the last presentation slides. It is important to underline the role of the Asia platform as a water links WOP platform in Asia as a supporting partners, as a specific and particular role in the WOP, particularly for starting the partnership, for beginning, for helping the two mentor and mentees starting knowing themselves, then to support with the relationship with the India context, water governance framework, and to facilitate the relationship between Italian and Indian structures. And then in the operational phase, supporting all the activities, the organization of meetings, etc., and the webinars also. We work together as supporting partners for the monitoring evaluation of the project, together with Hydrate and Waterlinks. And of course, for the future, it is, can be an important role for scaling up and institutionalizing more the results of the WOP between the different partners. So I underline particularly the exchange that is a kind of cooperation that is really mutual, and it is enriching for different, so different also context, but with a similar challenge in water and sanitation. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Armando.
To be in the same time.
Excellent. Thanks very much. Mahapatra Saab.
So, good afternoon. So, you heard from the mentor. So, we are the mentee. Next slide, please. Odisha is a coastal state in India. We have 40 million population. Out of that, 8 million reside in cities and towns. Now, we have 115 towns and cities. 5 cities had sewer systems, underground sewer system and STPs, and 1 city has, interception and diversion networks and STP. Then we realize that that kind of solution cannot be implemented in all the cities and all the small towns. So we switched to non-sewer sanitation in rest of the small towns. So in the process, we built 115 FSTP fecal sorting plants and developed the entire value chain. Now you will ask me, then what is there in the WOP? Having realized everything, our FSTPs are built on nature-based systems, and they have their own, limitations. So our goal was to reuse the product. We wanted to reuse the treated effluent, reuse the sludge, and they were not meeting the standards if you implement the nature-based systems. The nutrient parameters are high. So this partnership, next slide please. This partnership aimed at operationalizing our FSTPs, optimizing the process, and also how to reuse the treated effluents and the sludge. So in the process, our mentors, they helped us, the Polytechnic of Turin. We developed low-cost systems to further polish the effluent so that the nutrients can be reduced, and also developed a process where we can, co-compost the sludge with the municipal solid waste and developed the co-compost that can be used as a soil conditioner. So in the process, we developed SOPs for sludge. Also, in each of our plants we have a laboratory, and these plants are operated by women self-help groups. And that laboratory is manned by a lady, a graduate in chemistry. So to also develop the laboratory by providing spectrophotometers and that kind of small tests things, that was also assisted by the mentors. So the lady professional lab person was also, their capacity was developed in developing the laboratory. So in the process, we were able to gain a lot of activities. The other activities were, drainage modeling, the stormwater drainage modeling. That was also another activity, and training, capacity building of our own engineers and the municipality of neighboring, our capital, that is called Jatni. So that was the pilot town where we implemented this project over a period of 3 years. Next slide, please. So in this process, you will feel that 3 years is a very long period. From my experience, I will tell you, it just flew like anything. Without water links, without this, it's simply not possible to organize even one meeting, because people are so busy in Europe and also here. We have so much of activities. So thanks to Waterlink for providing this wonderful platform. Thanks to GEOPA, for selecting matchmaking. The role of Waterlink was to match OWSS with SMART. So it is a wonderful match, and we are able to achieve all these results because of Waterlinks. And mentor explained so many online meetings, so many webinars, and so many, even the physical meetings. They came to India, and we also went to Italy. So a lot of exchanges and information. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mahapatra. I think there are two interesting lessons as far as I'm concerned from this particular WOP. One is that during the period of COVID, we were able to attain a great deal of movement on the agreed work areas through distance learning. And everybody took to distance learning like ducks to water, and we had no difficulty at all in doing what we felt was a very substantive learning program on the internet. The other thing is, I think very important, is timing. The timing of the WOP was most apt in terms of what Mr. Mahapatra just mentioned. The construction and operationalization, what a long word, of 115 fecal sludge treatment plants, which were built in a record 3.5 years, based on a very dedicated political commitment by the state government. So those had just been operationalized, and we felt that this was exactly the right time where the capacities that Mr. Mahapatra and Federico have just mentioned needed to be developed so as to sustain the investments made in the sanitation infrastructure in the state. So thank you very much for that very interesting presentation. We now turn to the Ethiopia WOP. Mr. Mukhtar Ahmad, who's Director General of the Ethiopian Urban Water and Sanitation Federation. He will, in addition to talking about the WOP, also present the outcome of the Ethiopia workshop and the establishment of the EWOP. Mr. Ahmed, 8 minutes, please. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Thank you, this floor. Ethiopian Urban Water and Sanitation Federation is established the Ethiopian Water Operator Partnership, which is leading, facilitating, and managing under the Ethiopian Urban Water Sanitation Federation. It enhances the service delivery through a collaboration. Collaboration make solidarity, unity, and it becomes efficiency, effective, and sustainable service delivery in the utility. Next slide, please. Ethiopian Urban Water Federation is established it is an umbrella throughout the country. It is a platform to peer learning among the utilities. So it is a national coordination and collaboration among the utilities. Next slide. It also the more focusing on the capacity building, especially strengthening the institutional capacity of the utilities, promoting financial sustainability. In our case, the policy of water is focusing on the full cost recovery and affordability, which is water for all, and the price or the tariff must be full cost recovery. So we are encourage and promote and advise the utilities and capacitating the utilities. They must be full cost recovery and supporting the innovation. We foster the resilience and climate adaptation, strengthening motivation the utilities. Just we have developed key performance indicator and implementing key performance indicator based on software. We have developed a software. This software is a web-based computer system that entering, processing, storing, analyzing, and ranking the utility. The system calculating the key performance indicator by itself. So it is very easy, and we are using this system. So based on this, we are giving the utilities recognition and motivation based on their performance. Next slide, please. So now we are establishing and giving a training this Ethiopian WOP capacity building, thanks JOPA, especially Annie and her team. So they are giving a smart training, and we are establishing this Ethiopian water operator partnership among the utilities. Next slide. The frame is seems like just we have developed the guideline to manage, to identify the roles and duties, responsibilities for the mentor and the mentee, and we have framework. We have developed a framework, which is you can see in the screen. We are the Ethiopian Water Federation is facilitating, managing, directing, and under this there are mentee and mentor utilities, and there are also stakeholders. We have identified 13 potential utilities to support Ethiopian among utilities, and we are making a match 13 potential utility and 69 mentee utilities to a timing. Note it's the end. Next slide, please. We are identifying those utilities and matching the mentee mentor utilities. Just on the right, on the left side on my and for your right side, we are identifying the potential certain utility, and we make a match-making utilities. Next slide. This is the launching program. The higher officials, the ministers, donors, diplomats, they are available to announce and launching Ethiopian Water Operator Partnership just on June 26th. Next slide. This is the result after we established we have developed the guideline, we have given the training, and after the training we have launching this program. After this program, utilities are supporting each other. This Adama, for instance, Adama is supporting Bulehora. It is they are giving training as well as a material support for their main utilities. Adama also giving the material support for Bulehora, and Adama also Yavilo and Wolenti utilities to support them and strengthening their main utilities. Next slide. By the way, Adama is the champion at the national level for more than 3 years. They are the first rank based on our performance indicator evaluation. Then next to Adama, Hausa is the second rank in the national level. So our Hawassa is supporting the capacity building as well as a material support for Honate utility. And also Butajira utility is supports the Insano utility, their capacity and material support. And Butajira also, we town operator, they are also support. Bulehora supports other utility. Whereas are one Bule is the main utility, but when they are supporting by other, they are also supporting their lower utilities. Next slide. No, one slide. So in general, this Mentimeter approach is helping to us to support utility, collaborate utility, one each other. So in order to increase and enhancing sufficient, effective, modern, and sustainable service delivery, water operator partnerships, it is a vital role and it is supporting us very interesting. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Ahmed. That was very instructive. I've been completely ignorant about this as something I think we should consider in Asia as well. I mean, it's amazing that you've managed to get 14 partnerships instituted already, and the matching of 13 to 69 is really impressive. Thank you very much for that. Next presentation, perhaps the last one, is Natalia Pacheco, Technical Coordinator from Colombia. How do you pronounce your middle name?
Natalia Rincon.
Rincon.
Rincon. Okay. Well, good afternoon, everyone. It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure to share the experience of WOP Colombia, a national platform created in 2020 with the support of Anitam, WOP LAC, and SICO. Please. This platform is coordinated by ACODAL, which serves as a technical secretariat. So in 2025, we are starting a new fast show connection program, Connection at One program, financed by SICO and AC in alliance with IDB. So this phase will run until 2028, and with the goal of consolidating results, expanding cooperation, and ensuring that WOPs in Colombia can operate sustainability and independently and long term. So next one, please. Currently, next one. Currently, WOP Colombia connects 39 utilities, connects 39 water and sanitation utilities, and of different sizes, public and private, mixed and community-based. So today, 15 partnerships have been implemented across 18 departments, covering about 50% of Colombia territory. So this demonstrates that peer-to-peer cooperation has become a national mechanism for improved service and sharing expertise across regional and operational contexts. Next one, please. Beyond cooperation, we have also focusing on documenting the lesson learned. So far, we developed 3 cases of study or working papers. So one of them is strengthening rural water utilities through the experience of urban companies. And the second is user management in hard-reached areas such as community supply system and public standpipes. The third, these papers will technical loss control and infrastructure renewal in Colombia utilities. So this paper will be published and shared regional in a new phase. So we plan to develop 3 more. So regional total are 6 success stories. Next one, please. The 15 partnership. So we are going to show the results and good practice for the 15 partnerships in Colombia. Next one, please. The 15 partnerships have addressed both technical, operational, and commercial and administrative strategies, challenges. And on the technical side, We have working on loss reduction, automation, and hydraulic modeling, which have improved efficiency and service reliability. So on the commercial side, utilities have expanded billing using management and financial viability. Altogether, this is four shops that WOP in Colombia help utilities improve both file operation and institutional management, moving toward more sustainable service and delivery. One, please. One of the most important findings from these partnerships is growing environmental awareness among utilities. So over 19% of are now prioritizing water master plans, loss reduction, and environmental sustainability actions. So many are implementing watershed protection programs, source monitoring, and risk management. Showing that WOPs are promoting a more integrated and environmentally conscious approach to water management in Colombia. Next one, please. A great example of this environmental commitment comes from partnership between, in Spanish, Empresa de Acueducto y Alcantarillado de Bogotá y el Acueducto Metropolitano de Bucaramanga. So together, they carried out reforestation activity in the Santurban Páramo, a high mountain ecosystems critical for Colombia water supply. So they planted over 2,000 frailejones. There are endemic plant cessation for water rotation, and are preparing 3,000 more through a high mountain nursery led by AMB. This activity reflects how WOPs contribute not only operational improvements, but also ecosystem practice and education. This one. To conclude, the WOP Colombia experience showed real impacts of scalability and sustainability. Under impact, we highlight the 15 partnerships, 3 case study, and a measurable improvements in efficiency, automation, billing, and user management, and all without strong territorial impacts in watershed protection and community engagement. So under scalability, the network now connects 30 utilities that exchange experiences and replicate accessful practice nationwide with support of ACODAL, IDB, ANSECO, NIC, and UNHABITAT. And finally, the most important is under sustainability, the 2025 to 2028 phase will focus on consolidate results, ensuring that beyond 2028, Colombian WOPs can operate and finance themselves strategically and independently. So WOP Colombia continues to grow as a platform that connects, protects, and transfers, and reaffirming that cooperation is not just about sharing knowledge, but about building and self-sustaining water future for all. So that's it. So thank you very much. I would like to acknowledge our partner, ACODAL, UNAMITAB, WOP LAC, and IDB SICO, and I see and the Colombian utilities that make this network possibility. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Natalia. Very interesting. I am particularly interesting, I suppose we'll come to it during question time, which is now, about the role of IADB and whether they are continuing and in what way to support you. But we now have the floor open for questions from any of the presenters of the presentations. Any hands raised? Any burning questions? Are you all impressed? Or do you have suspicions, lingering doubts about the results or the way they've been presented? Everyone's happy. Anne Bousquet, what do you think? You need a microphone. Pat, can you give her a microphone?
Yeah, just if you want to take question from the room, I think you need a microphone. That would be my main input to a session. But jokes apart, yeah, I'm very happy to see also this emerging profile of national WOP platform. We have different layers. We have also the regional platform. So there are big questions about now how we articulate also the regional level and the national level. But it's, I think this is the first time actually in the WOP Congress that we are talking about national WOP platform. So it's also very interesting for us. Of course, we have been a bit instrumental in the Ethiopian one, but WOP Colombia, we were there at the beginning, but it's also a very inspiring story. So I'm just very happy. Thank you.
Thanks. Yes, Maria.
Thank you for the presentations. I would like to know, I agree, of course, that the national platforms are emerging. They were there in the past in different countries, and they faced with contexts and circumstances. I would like to know a bit more on the Ethiopian and the Colombian case. What was the driver? Which were the main key actors pushing for this kind of WOP national programs? I'd be happy to get more insights on that. Thank you.
You want to go first?
Okay, thank you for the question. Well, in Colombia, how I would say it, we have 39 utilities that are working together. So we have a lot of big utilities that help the minors. So one of them are, for example, in established, maybe if you know Colombia, is established in Medellin. And it's very recognized by EPM, Empresas Públicas de Medellín. So we are working together with IDB, so they help us to growing up with all this program. So we have obviously, but maybe with the politician and everything of that, maybe some no problems, but I don't know how to say, but so they are very grateful for this program. So they growing up a lot since 2020. So now they are very established. But now we need to get some to finish at the 2028, get the sustainability independent for the cooperation international. I don't know if maybe I was okay.
Thank you. Regarding to the main actor of this national WOP in Ethiopia, at the global level, JOPA is the main support to establishing this platform. First, just I'm giving in my presentation, thank you JOPA and ANI team. Just they are giving to us the training, more than 5 days. So thank you again. The next main actor is FASA. Just they are working together and support us to exercise a mentor approach in Ethiopia, like Wolaita Sodo and Ambo, Dese, and Adama and Bishoftu. They are supporting critically. At national level, the water energy minister is support us to facilitating and supporting to establish and implementing this platform. As you see, the launch program, the ministers and other state ministers are involving this announcement. The next is there are regional association who are preparing a guideline. We put in that guideline each and every responsible and role of the main actor. There are development partners, NGOs, UNICEF, Water Ethiopia, there are many supporters to us. We are the main actor to managing this WOP, and there are other actors around to us, particularly the utilities and the maintainer and the regional. We have more than 10 regional water associations, so they are the main actor to us. We are the national level. So due to this, just we are on the way to implementing and exercising this WOP platform in Ethiopia. Thank you.
Thanks very much. I think in the, yes, okay, one more question. Valeria, you can come up here and talk later.
Okay. Hi. Thank you very much. My name is Maunyo from Ghana Water. And I have a question for both the mentor and the mentee because as Ghana Water Limited, I think we've won both cups as both a mentor or a mentee and now a mentor. Has there been any point where you realize as a mentor that the quick wins or the slow wins were not coming fast, so you had to quickly, should I say, speed up some strategies on your side to ensure that you demonstrate some sort of, to show some results as a way of cementing some trust from your management and also from donors? And for the mentee, has there been any time where you felt you needed to shed off some interventions or strategies as part of your capacity building process? So that is my question for both the mentor and the mentee.
I think SMAT and OWSSB need to respond to this. Very trick question, huh? Did you take any shortcuts?
Very quick answer also. Yes, thank you. Thank you, Kofilot. I think in the development of the WOP, there was different phases. Really, the first phase, the first year was reciprocal mutual knowledge. First period, only distance meetings. And then following at the end of the first year, there was the first meeting, physical meeting and visit in India. So there is this phase. Then really the main achievements in terms of activities, learning, teaching activities, and also technical assistance or exchange activities were in the second and third year. In some moments we had, together with Waterlinks and supporting partners, we had to time a little bit, so to recall the timing of the project, because the 3 years are going fast, and so in sometimes perhaps there was a recall about the timing, also of the mentor, on the mentor side, because the mentor many business to do, so the timing was both sides, but the monitoring, supporting partners are helping about this, about also the timing and the planning of the activities.
From the mentee side, actually, we wanted the first visit of mentors to us should have been the very beginning, but because of the COVID, so that didn't happen. So we had to do a lot of things online, and the time, time flies very fast. And that is how the role of Waterlinks in the platform is very important. So you need somebody who constantly reminds you that look, you have a meeting coming up next week, next month. So that helps in bridging the time and achieving the results. Thank you.
Thank you. Valeria, I think I will allow you to ask a question because...
Okay, thank you. No, I just wanted to add something to Natalia's answer to Maria, if I may, because I was there at the time of the creation of WOP Colombia. So the fact is that the IDB, Inter-American Development Bank, had an interesting program to strengthen operators' capacities in Colombia named Compass some years ago. And that program was quite successful. And then as the bank at the time was supporting WOPLAC and knew pretty much about WOPs. I think that they understood that it would be a good step forward to make those operators that had strengthened capacities in Colombia move a step forward and exchange knowledge between them. And that's why they decided to support a national platform like WOP Colombia.
Thanks, Valeria. Can we allow one more question, because we've got one less panelist. So maybe one last question. Do you have a mic with you? Okay, absolutely last one. Thanks.
It's a last great opportunity for me because this is my last Bonn Congress on WOPs. And I can tell you this is also my last day that I will be here because I'm leaving tonight. I'm Simon Veenstra from the Netherlands. I've been working for VEI for many years. And recently I was working with WOPA on online community for WOP practitioners with one ambition, and the ambition is that our WOPs are nice, but they need replication and upscaling. Because we have in the world more than 500,000, 500,000 water utilities. In Germany there are 6,000. So we have enormous target groups ahead of us to contribute to SDG 6. And the one objective that we should all embrace is what I now hear from Colombia and what I now hear from Ethiopia. National platforms where the strong water utilities mentor the smaller and weaker utilities together. And I think if we do that, not only for these two countries, but for all the other countries where there is a platform needed to start at national WOP level with embracing this model for partnering, I think we make huge steps forwards. And I encourage both of you to make sure that this story through GWOPA is spread throughout the other utilities and the other sectors as well. Because I think that's the only way forward. The international WOPs we have at the moment are far too expensive to replicate in massive numbers. But these are the ones that can do much more with small amounts of money, having more impact, and that's what we need in the current geopolitical winds blowing about international development cooperation. Thank you very much, and I encourage you to go ahead with your developments. Thanks. So it was not a question.
Thank you. Very, 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 very kind of you to have said that, and wish you well when you leave this evening. Thanks very much. I fully agree with that. Now let's have a shortish panel discussion. We have Valeria Suarez from WOPLAC. Valeria, please come upstairs. Simeon Kenfak from AFWASA, and Pasu Bekti up here on the chairs, please. All right, I think I certainly think so, and I think all of you probably agree that we've had a very interesting set of presentations and some very sharp questions. So learning from that, let's have a chat about how do WOPs ensure that the improved performance that is a consequence of their intervention is sustained. Sustainability is, of course, central to any development activity. So how do we sustain the gains made in a particular WOP or set of WOPs? The related question is, should WOPs be repeated for the same utility over a long-term period? And we discussed this briefly this morning at another session. Or should we let the utilities rely on an internally designed continuous training and upskilling program, or can these be blended? Finally, local governments. I think that's a point that has resonated in many sessions at this Congress, but how should local governments who are responsible for WASH services be integrated with the scaling up of WOPs programs? We have just heard about country level programs, but how can local governments be associated in ensuring that their utility is supported in the scaling up of its WOPs programs. In other words, a continuous long-term WOP effort. So these three interrelated questions over to the panelists. Valeria, would you like to have first shot?
Yeah, okay. Thank you. And well, thank you very much and welcome everybody. Well, I would say, based on the experience in Latin America at least, the first responsible or the first interested in the sustainability of a WOP is the beneficiary. And the commitment coming from the beneficiary is the most important thing for the success of a WOP and the sustainability over the time. I think that that's the first point. Of course, the mentor is more than welcome if helping even after the finishing of the WOP, but the beneficiary's commitment is, I think, the most important thing. And followed by, as we heard from the other presentations before, all institutional support that that WOP might have is very, very important too. I mean, institutional support from the platforms as Waterlink, from universities as might be Politecnico di Torino, local government, of course, if possible, and the donor too. Because I think that it's important that the donor helps not on a daily basis, but maybe monitoring or following up the process of the WOP. I think that could help too. I think that the institutional support is very, very important. I go with the second one.
Go on, please, yes.
All ahead?
They're all
Okay.
related in any case.
Okay. Concerning the long-term WOP or repeat the WOP, the same WOP, I think that as the funds are limited and the beneficiary is called to appropriate the knowledge, I think that it's better to give the opportunity to others, to other utilities that might need to strengthen capacities and not repeat the same WOP. But maybe, yes, in case that WOP can enhance the objectives of the first one. But I think that it's the responsibility of the beneficiary again to appropriate knowledge and make that WOP or the result, the impact of that WOP sustain in time. And concerning local government, of course, I think that it's quite important to have that support. It's a challenge, at least in our region. It depends on the relationship between the utility and the government. It's not always easy, but I think it helps a lot. Yeah, sure.
Okay, right, thank you. But there's one point on which I think I didn't hear enough from you, which is how do we sustain performance over time? I mean, we do a WOP, we go away, we are not into it long term, may or may not be into it long term. How does the utility sustain that performance improvement that it has acquired?
Well, it needs a lot of work from the beneficiary. Maybe too, if the contact with the mentor continues after the WOP is finished, it helps to sustain that, because all the questions, consultations further than could have not been solved during the WOP period are important to make it sustainable too. I think that contact going beyond the WOP is pretty important.
Thank you. Exactly. I think that's what's been happening in the case of both SMAT and IWK, and I was very glad to have heard that. Pabekti, would you like to take up these questions?
Okay, thank you. The first is, Perpamsi is Indonesia Water Supply Association. We have 440 members from water utility in Indonesia, and we have also members from the industry. We have 84 members from the industry. So we have a national WOPs platform since 2011. We have 123 couples until now, and in 1 year's average, we have 10 couples between the mentor and the mentee. Mentor, yes, that water utility, strong water utility as a mentor, and the poor water utility as a mentee. And this is the national WOPs is one of our program to improving the capacity of the water utility. We have another program like the on-the-job training. We have clinic. Clinic means we preparing the doctor, financial doctor, legal doctor, technical doctor, something like that. So if the water utility in Indonesia have difficulties in contract, for example, so we have preparing the doctor, legal doctors. So we have also advocation. So if the our members, for example, want to improving the tariff, we have to convince to the local governments, to local parliament, to helping the water utility how to this is the important of the improving the tariff. This is one our programs to make sustain of the WOPs. So based on our experience in last 3 years, 65% of the water utility, this is the mentee, is improving the performance. So this is the impact of the WOPs actually. WOPs is, we are talking about WOPs, this is just only pilot project, but the impact, the performance, because in Indonesia we have performance indicators for perspective from the finance, customer, internal process, and human resources, and 65% is improving the performance. I think this is a good achievement in our national WOP last 3 years. The second question, if we are talking about the sustainability, okay, for the local governments, based on our step in national WOPs, the first step is diagnostic. After diagnostic, the second step, we will be preparing the plan. And the third step is signing the letter of intent, MOU between the mentor and the mentee. And this is to improving the what's the meaning of, must be shining in front of the local governments. This is improving the commitment mentee, because the mentee also not only preparing also spend commitment in investment also. So
yeah.
So this is how to make the increasing commitment not only in the mentor and mentee, also from the local governments.
Right, thanks. So what do you think about the idea of repeating a WOP for the same utility over a period of time?
Yeah.
Phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, like that.
Yes. Okay. This is a good because the same water utility and the same size actually. This is important. For example, like on the job training, sometimes for the small water utility, this is have on the job training in strong water utility and big size water utility, and back to the small water utility. Oh, this is, I think the size is very important in the size of water utility. I think this is a good and easier to replicate. For example, mostly in the past 3 years, the topic is, the first is GIS, Geographic Information System. The second is digitalization. digitalization in billing collection, digitalization in SCADA sometimes. The third is mostly efficiency energy. So this is a three topic for the the best topic in the last 3 years.
I get it. Yeah. Okay. Thanks very much. Simeon, your views, please.
Yeah. Thanks very much for the question. But for having been here since Friday at the steering committee and listening to the three questions, three sides of the questions, which are interlinked, I combine it to one of the questions we raised at the steering committee, which was how to sustain, to institutionalize WOP. Because as far as WOP is not institutionalized in the development process, and the performance process, sustainability of performance, of utility, yes, or and also involving the local government and involving the bank as the development partners, as I heard from Valeria. I think we cannot understand WOP as a movement embedded in the development process. And I think this should be, because WOP is capacity building, and capacity building brings sustain the development. Having said this, I will respond in the, from the perspective of AFWASA. AFWASA is the African Water and Sanitation Association, which bring all the African water stakeholders together. And we have, it's a membership organization, and the mandate of this organization is capacity building. When the WOP movement started in the years 2000, thanks to GWOPA, when it comes to Africa, they realize, oh, this is the best place we can anchor the WOP Africa platform. And personally, I joined AFWASA as the WOP Africa platform coordinator. At the time, it was just a program. And what means program? Who understand program means when funds ended there, the program finished. But at AFWASA, being an organization embedded in the Africa development process, when the time comes and the WOP funding finished, AFWASA embed the position of the WOP Africa coordinator, and I become the AFWASA program director. And from that time, all the programs we designed them based on the WOP approach. We include a part of, if it is a water, if it is a non-revenue water target program, we use the WOP approach, peering mentors and mentees, and if it is water quality program, we use the same approach. And at a time when we assess in 2015, the first phase of WOP, we realized there were not enough, there were over the 15 peer-to-peer WOP that we implemented, we realized there were only 3 on sanitation, and the evaluators agree that we should implement WOP on, we should emphasize on sanitation. And at the time, the organization was even just African Water Association. And at the end, we end up by adding sanitation, Africa Water and Sanitation Association. So with this, when the WOP is institutionalized in the coordination platform, whether at a regional, whether at national or at sub-regional in country, this we will then, depending on the thematic which is to address, especially for sanitation, you will find that we may realize the local authority which are in charge of the sanitation aspect, they will be involved. And now, based on that, finally, at AFWASA now, they even review the membership categories by including the local authority, the categories of municipality, the mayors, when there is, they have a constituency at AFWASA. So now, coming to repeating, can we repeat WOP in the same organization? I think it depends. If from the AFWASA side, we make sure, if considering WOP at thematic focus, when it comes to non-revenue water, we make sure there are some, we can use the same utility for non-revenue water WOP, for water quality WOP, for sanitation WOP, because all that is in the same area, and at the end, we end up with a very highly capacitated utility. And in this room, I can see Onea, when the Onea from Burkina Faso, and in Ethiopia, because what Mokhtar didn't say is that AFWASA is the one who introduced WOP in Ethiopia by selecting some utility and pairing them with others, depending on the thematic. And based on that, the government in Ethiopia said, we have to set our constitution, and thanks to GWOPA, that happened. So by having a very strong utility in different thematic, then we can agree going forward. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Simeon. That's very useful coming from AFWASA. I thought we have a little bit of time. We have about 10 odd minutes left before this session concludes. So why don't we be a little democratic and open up the panelists to questions, comments from the floor. Anybody wishes? Yes, Maria.
Thanks so much. I would like to make a question to our colleague from Perpamsi and also to Simeon, connected. In Perpamsi, we've heard from Colombia, of course, and also I think WOPLAC. Valeria was explaining to us how basically the Inter-American Development Bank was the one that initially supported the idea of a national WOP platform, and now the platform from Colombia is challenged with finding sustainability. No, so, they have to become self-sustainable. Now, I think in the case of PEPAMSI, I don't know it fully, but it is a bit more established within local structures, and it's been, I don't know, maybe created from within. I don't know if you received financial support from donors to create such a platform or not. That's one question. How do you sustain and fund the WOPs? And if there is any legal policy, legal framework or policy that supports this kind of peer-to-peer support within the country. And that connects to the question to Simeon. Simeon, you express, of course, the demand and the need to institutionalize WOPs, and we are seeing examples. One question would be, what do we mean by institutionalizing, using it as a mechanism through a national WOP platform? But do we also want to come to the level of policies that include the WOP mechanism? And what can AWASA do with the constituency in the context where you work to promote that the national WOP platforms or the WOP movement at national level is embedded within the policy frameworks of different nations? Maybe you're already working on that or not. What's the room for maneuvering? Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So we have national WOPs platform. Also, we have international WOPs. So for the national, financing is coming from the mentor, mentee, and PEPAMSI. There are three, still. So that's why we have difficulty to looking for the mentor. So because mentor also financing these WOPs. So that's why the program, we call the program is the Solidarity Program. So for the international WOPs, yes, there is a sponsor. For example, we have a cooperation with the Australia Water Association, and there is a mentor coming from the Australia Water Utility, and Indonesia is a mentee, and financing by the Australia Water Partnership. So there is a sponsor. Yes, the beauty of the WOPs, national WOPs, is a network among the operator. Even the program is finished, but the network is still running. This is the beauty of national WOPs. But the challenge is the looking for the mentor. So mentor is mostly the big water utility, strong water utility, and has a budget, a stern budget for the likes the CSR. So, but lucky, currently with using the online, this is easier to manage the and cheap to manage the WOPs. Yeah. Okay, so this is the program of the PEPAMSI. We just likes the cooperation. You know, the first step is the diagnostic. So the second step, we preparing the planning and the budget from the mentee, from the mentor, from the PEPAMSI. The third is signing MOU between the mentor and the mentee. So this is just the legal framework among between the mentor and the mentee.
Was your question related to national level? Yeah.
Okay.
No, I don't think so. I don't think
so.
That
We
happens.
don't have for the national level regulation something that we don't have yet. But this is so that's why we call the program is the Solidarity Program. So.
Thanks for the question, and Valeria, I think you are part of of those involved in preparing the report of this Congress, and I want to just remind that we are going to where the urban forum Global Urban Forum. Is it?
World Urban Forum.
World Urban Forum. And we discussed about that. And yesterday, in the same venue, there was a session on the performance of investment, how to improve the performance of investment. And WOP is one of the approach. This is, and for me, this institutionalizing WOP is how to take it at the top level of the institutions on the country. And the UN Habitat, the bank were here yesterday, the development bank. And they are the proper, if they are really convinced that WOP is something useful for the government, for the country, for the development, to sustain the development, we can lob at that level, so for them to enforce and let the government agree and accept it and institutionalize it in their development, in any country development process. Because for the water sector, they say it yesterday, up to 1/3 of the investment, the funds allocated for water and sanitation, we are unable to use them. Because of what? Because of capacity. And this capacity should be addressed when designing. Even there are some countries who are not even able to design proper projects to convince the bank to fund them. And through WOP, through the WOP approach, we can succeed, we can support country to better design on the peer-to-peer learning approach.
Yeah.
Operation, we can do the same. Monitoring and evaluation, reporting, we can do the same. So, by institutionalizing WOP, but the message should come from those who are better placed to influence the policy in our country. Thank you.
Thank you, Simeon. Is there somebody here? I just wanted to react to this point about using WOPs to influence the development agenda. Is there anyone here from the Asian Development Bank? Is Vivek here? No. So I had a small chat with him the other day, and the Asian Development Bank, which is also engaged in WOPs, they said, I think a number that was trotted out on Sunday at the steering committee meeting was 32 WOPs in 17 countries. I think we started it. Sorry? No, 32. That is our record, 90. Water links. Let's not blend the two. Sorry, I'm being very chauvinistic here. I think what they have finally figured out after all these years is that it is a very good idea to use a WOP as an instrument to be dovetailed into the project development and design process. Because a WOP helps you build capacity in discrete areas, and those very areas are the ones that are used to not just prepare a project, but to also implement it. And that is what we've always felt is important if you want to adapt at scale. So this is something that the ADB has now started doing, and I hope that this is something that can be taken up by a whole host of development finance institutions, realizing the value that a WOP offers. All right, questions? Yes, sir. Microphone, please.
Thanks. Just on that point,
yes.
about the possibility of using WOPs to shape the international agenda, I wonder what you make, or what the panelists make of the fact that when we look at the trajectory of international programs of not-for-profit partnerships for capacity development, ACP, EU water partnerships, WOPs with the various WOP platforms, etc. From 2012, I mean, we've seen, you know, for example, ACP water partnerships funded by the European Commission, 40 million euros initially, then they went down to 30 million euros. EU WOPs, 9 million euros for the first phase. Now maybe they're going up to 40 million euros. Especially when we compare it to the scale of the need. Well, it doesn't seem to be anything capable of matching that scale. And the trajectory seems to be going downwards, it seems to me. Yeah, I wonder whether, you know, I have the wrong impression. Of course, there are international water programs, there are national water programs, so it's not only international, there's national, regional, bilateral, but what is your view? I mean, what is the realistic, is it a realistic idea, you know, to think that WOPs, given this picture of, you know, not an upward trajectory, that WOPs can be used to shape and mold the international development agenda? Thanks.
Can I respond to that very quickly? I think it's an important question, but here we are talking about WOPs that are financed by the IFIs themselves. And once they start seeing the value of WOPs in project and more than project, just sector design, including sector-wide policies, sector-wide reform, including particularly regulatory arrangements within the sectors, which will then drive efficiency across the sector. The more they realize the value of these WOPs, the more they will use them in the individual projects or sector-wide programs. You know, both the World Bank and ADB, I don't know about the Inter-American Development Bank, but I'm sure they follow similar practices, broadly similar at least, that they will use this as an instrument to ensure that not only is capacity developed in the most needed areas in a particular utility, but those capacities are then put to use at scale during the large-scale capital investment programs that these banks then help finance. Right?
Which is where WCI comes.
What's WCI?
Water Catalyst Initiative.
I have no idea. You better ask somebody else. Sorry, I can't help you there. Maybe we can have a chat offline. All right, any other questions or comments? Yes, please.
Hi. Okay, let me stand for this. It's actually not a question, it's a comment on the question you pose on if WOPs should be repeated in, you know, subsequently for utilities. I shared earlier that we have tasted both wells, being a mentor and then a mentee. And one of the things I see is that a lot of mentees fall in the consultancy trap, where they have failed to carry out some sort of internal anchoring to make the WOPs like a core of their operations. And what they do is that they rather treat it as a project. So it's more or less like something you wear on your hand, and when it's done, you take it off, rather than what is actually inside you. So it is important for most of the mentees, if you are talking about sustaining all the knowledge and the lessons from these water operator partnerships, you need to be able to find a way to internalize some of these operations, align them with your maybe like corporate objectives, and that is the only way you can actually move out of that consultancy, you know, trap, so that when the WOP tenure ends or the horizon ends, you can have you might have built that capacity for you to, you know, carry on with whatever you are doing. An example for Ghana, for instance, is when we got into the WOP, for some time now, we have become, I would say, mentors, and my colleagues from Guma Valley are here. In the past, traditionally, we're not having the capacity to even carry out trainings and facilitations. But now we have actually, grown, built that capacity. And today we even go to other utilities to more or less like give off our services and to help them also get to that maturity level that we are. So to summarize it, let us treat it as a cooperation and not a side project. Thank you.
Okay, that's an interesting, interesting perspective. We have no more time actually, so we have passed our time by 5 minutes. Any last 1 minute comment from anybody or question? Last? None? All right, I think, Anne, with your permission, shall we wrap up? But, I mean, you've been party to the design of this program, so would you like to wrap up? Let me offer this to you. Yeah, come along.
Thank you, Arjun. That is a bit improvised, but okay, I like challenges. So no, that was a very interesting session, and the question of institutionalizing WOPs, I think we have different perception of what it means, and that was a good question. What does it mean? And we see it in different ways. I think one way of establishing national WOP platform is already a way to institutionalize WOPs, actually. Of course, we are looking at the big picture. Our WOPs actually even mentioned in national water policies. That would be like the goal for us, like the ultimate goal. We are not there yet. I don't think I have any example, as far as I know, that it is happening. Maybe it's going to happen in Ethiopia because they are rewriting the national policy. We'll see. Also, of course, embedding WOP program at regional platform level is also a way of institutionalizing WOPs. When I heard also about taking WOPs beyond just project, but within the corporate plans of the utilities is another way of institutionalizing WOPs. So we have different definitions. But what I see, I don't have the impression that funds are dwindling so much, actually. We have huge potentials, and notably, and we are still trying to get the development banks fully on board, which will be another entry point of institutionalizing WOPs when demand comes from, of course, the base, the grassroots level, let's say, but also with strong incentive from the top level. When both hands will meet, then I think we would be happy with institutionalizing WOPs. I will leave it there. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Anne. You helped me there. All right, so let's close this and take away whatever we've learned here. I think I've learned a lot in any case. But a big hand to the panelists and to the presenters, whoever is here now. Thank you very much.